Hey guys, welcome to another episode in the deep playthrough of Mankind Divided. We are going to progress with the main mission in this episode. This one, that's the only mission left currently in the mission log. Meet Smiley in his office. Smiley has had more than enough time to analyze the digital storage device I picked up at the bomb site. I should get to his office to speak with him as soon as I can. So let's go to the TF29 office building, which is actually located behind a fake storefront. Where was it? There is the bank.
Not seeing it.
I think maybe over here.
That's impressive.
By the way, there are in the previous episode, there are two apartments I saw over here, one over there, and also, but I'm not sure whether that is one that you can actually reach. The other side, I'm just going to check it out to make a mental note for myself.
Like, get everyone
Like criminals.
Yeah, I think that balcony over there. Although I really have no
Cannot come
clue
soon enough.
how to get there. Maybe with some enhanced Icarus dash. By the way, it would be fun if I can get there. Let's just first quickly try to get there. I will just do some. Is this Icarus dash? Yes. Here, a charge variant of the Icarus dash allowing the user to reach cover points and ledges or ram into targets. Here, let's do that. Unless it totally messes up the HUD with all kinds of unimmersive, distracting HUD elements. I assume those will only be displayed once I activate the augmentation. Alright, activated, so hold left stick. Hold to charge, release the dash. Alright, we can do that. Protect 500. Not sure what that is, some kind of security device. Alright, now let's see our new dash ability. We need to get to that ledge over there. Pretty sure we will not make it. But let's test it out. No. I don't see any valid targets. So the HUD indeed only pops up once you activate it, which I don't mind that much. A wrench is a tool, not a human being. Ah, there we go. Very nice. Alright, very nice. I probably should only be looking here as part of a mission. Again, as mentioned in the previous episodes, I'm not sure
is the damage these hackers leave in their wake.
Whether all apartments are linked to a point of interest or a side mission, so I also don't want to miss out, so I'm just going to explore them, this one, and let's take the other one as well already. Let's just see what we have here. Right, what do we have? 1 day to store. This one is pretty easy, right? Yeah, I would say it is.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated.
Oh shit. Hit by fire.
Access denied.
Oops, I forgot about the timer. Nathaniel Brown, that's the guy who was building that. What's the name? Rabaya City.
Watching, because you are always watching.
Right, here we go.
In part 1 of our two-part look at the human restoration.
Anomaly detected.
I am joined by the
Trace program initiated.
Dr.
Going to go.
It is a
Oh shit.
Doctor. Tell me
Access granted.
That was a
the
close call.
Restoration Act will achieve if it is passed.
When? When it is passed.
Alright,
And it's a pleasure to speak with you too, Eliza.
that's
Listen,
one of the
I
guys
know
that the
opponents are saying
officials
the
of the
Human
Palisade
Restoration
named.
Act is a step backwards.
Alright,
A
first,
devastating blow against the basic human rights.
that's...
These social justice warriors fail to see the bigger picture.
Where the hell is the
Audiences
television?
threw everything off the rails. Since then, the rift between augmented and natural has gotten so wide, so deep, it's become immovable.
So, otherwise I cannot read. Here we go. From Hemingway's Fine Spirits to Stana Tomasek. Mrs. Tomasek, I see that there is another 2 cases of Riesling here for you awaiting delivery and we have yet to receive payment on the last consignment. I'm not sure what the alcohol is for, but I almost feel compelled to suggest you might perhaps order less if you cannot keep up payments on such a high volume. I should remind you that we are not a wholesaler and this alcohol is not to be resold under any circumstances. We deal with a small artisanal winery, and part of the deal is that we respect the producer's wishes for limited propagation of their product. You'll forgive me if I preempt any requests for credit. I'm a small business, Ms. Tomasek, so I hope you understand it's not something I can afford to offer. I await your payment and wish you well. Respectfully, Al Capiche, owner, Hemingway's Fine Spirits. Wendy Heffernan to Stana Tomasek, feeling down today. This one is outstanding payment, subject line. Stana, note your notes. I am so proud to... Oh wait, let's first read this one. Reference mail from Stana Tomasek to Wendy Heffernan, feeling down today. My dearest Wendy, I've been trying to move on, keeping busy like you advised, and for the most part I think I've been doing okay. But today the clouds gathered around me again. It's our wedding anniversary today, and I find myself sitting here alone, surrounded by so many memories, the good and the bad. I'm sorry I don't really know why I'm writing this. I just can't help thinking that it was my fault for pushing him to go work there in the first place. He wanted to contract work in the Middle East, but I thought the other opportunity sounded better. I'm such an awful person when he is down. Stana, no you're not. I'm so proud of you. I know losing Salvin was hard, especially considering the circumstances, but you have to keep reminding yourself that there was nothing you could have done. He was killed by a very sick man, Stana, like my Charlie and my niece Clara, like millions of people. The only ones to blame are those bastards at Darrow Industries. Look, I know it's hard. I deal with Charlie's memory every day. But I accept that that is where he is now, in my memories, and I cherish all of them. We need to start doing the same. The past should stay where it is. Move on, Stana. Self will live forever in your heart. Stay strong and make it win. Attention required, expired account. Romanek Thomas Palisade Corp. That Romanek was indeed from Palisades. The Stana, I'm not so sure about. Dear Miss Tomasek, our deep sympathies on the news of your late husband. In light of Mr. Tomasek's legal death, As per the attorney's letter, his account and corresponding vault allocation in the Palisade Property Bank is hereby released to you as the next of kin. We must ask you to collect the vault contents using the code 1305, either in person or through authorized representation, before the space can be allocated to another customer. Due to the extenuating circumstances, the bank has decided to extend the collection and closure period, but would still ask you to attend to this matter within 14 days. If after this period you have not or are unable to undertake these instructions, the contents of the account will be securely destroyed as per the signed agreement and guarantee of the Palisade Property Bank under the regulation and established protocols managing expired or closing notes. Further details are available on request. Please let us know if there is something we can do to help. Yours faithfully, Thomas Romanek, account manager, Palisade Property Bank. Wow, can you imagine having only 2 weeks to get your life savings out of a bank before they simply destroy it? Crazy. Alright, so Stana Tomasek, we do have a safe combination, but I already earlier cleaned out all the little safes in the property bank, but there's like this big underground area with a lot of bigger safes. Maybe this Tomasek had something there, although I doubt it, because those safes really are more like corporate safes, super big. But yeah, it's quite, I'm not sure how to get there quickly now. It will take quite some time, so let's save that for later. And for now, let's quickly also check out the other apartment that I noticed. By the way, was there anything there? No? Soon chip. Fashion. Super electromagnetic fields. Alright, here we go. By the way, that lady, she simply disappeared, it seems. Like so. And then like so. Man, this really feels like Dishonored. Right, let's try and land on that without breaking all kinds of bones.
They're in the city.
Very nice. And now quickly get to that other apartment where the
City run by criminals. That's impressive. City run by criminals and scum.
there it is. No, god damn it. Oh my god, dude. So die thing. Alright, here we go again. Man, this is really is a handy tool. I cannot deny it. There really also was not that much here. Except for a pistol.
Investors around the world today rejoiced at a decision by the Czech Republic to approve expansion plans for the Palisade
Is it a
Bank.
cool pistol or it's a regular pistol?
Located in Prague, the bank's iconic bank facilities hold the largest and most secure data archiving vaults in the world. Cutting-edge security
Looks like a regular pistol. Let's not
secrets of
steal
many
from these people.
and influential individuals since privacy laws first passed. Sources close.
because this is just like a child's room. I'm not gonna steal from a child. By the way, it's a little bit weird that a child has a pistol in her room. Right, let's first read the book. Global Politics Review 2029 edition, Chapter 4, the Australian Conflict. Following the Oak incident, the opposing factions in the Australian Civil War, the Northern Free States of Australia and the ruling South Australia Federation, were effectively forced into a ceasefire. Since 2028 there has still been the occasional border skirmish, but for the most part the violence has been held at bay, at least in the populated cities along the coastline. The interior is a different matter. The outback is still disputed. At best it is a desolate wasteland, at worst a lawless expanse slowly killing off augmented PMC soldiers who fled there to die rather than confront the after effects of horrifying psychotic delusions. The two interim governments have formed a joint police force to patrol the interior, but by all accounts their impact has been negligible. Right, security rating 1. That's what we like. Where are we? We are over there.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiate. Access granted.
Alright, urgent, please reply. From Hanka Lukasova to Marta Babik. Marta, it was a miracle to see you again after all this time, especially since I thought you were lost to us forever. Gods, all the time we have wasted because of that monster. And Lucas, I am so proud of my nephew. But I heard on the news about the tragedy at the train station. It coincided with the time your train was due to arrive. I called and left a message yesterday. Maybe you did not receive it. The news said that the chaos in progress created communication problems. Please reply to this as soon as you can and let me know you are alright. I cannot bear the thought that I've gotten my dear sister back only to lose her again. Love, Anna. Legal custody. Philip Fortjacek to Marta Babik. Miss Babik, I've created a file for you that now officially makes me your legal counsel with all the protection under the law that affords. I've also been in contact with Miss von Brakova, and she has familiarized with me with your situation. I regret that I must point out a very intricate legal complication with your desire to reassign custody of your son to your sister, should anything happen to you. While organizations such as the Slavic Foundation for Battered Women function with the full sanction and support of the countries in which they operate, many of the actions they take out of necessity, although themselves legal, confer no legal authority. In other words, although he believes you both to be deceased, as far as the law is concerned, Mr. Babik is still your husband. Lucas is his son. Therefore, Mr. Babik maintains the full custody rights of a married birth parent. If Mr. Babik were augmented, it would be relatively easy to strip him of any rights with regards to your son, but since that is not the case, the only way to secure your son's future is to sue for full custody, which would of course entail revealing your secret to Mr. Babik to the court. Please let me know how you wish to proceed. Philip Wojciech. Katarina von der Kova to Marta Babik. Marta, whatever your reasons, and I'm not unsympathetic, believe me, this is the worst time you could have chosen to contact your family. Don't you understand? When nobody knew anything, you were safe, but now that your sister knows the truth, she has a dangerous secret. The ruthless single-mindedness of a man like your husband makes them very dangerous. They know how to force people to reveal things. Please sever all contact with your sister immediately for everyone's safety. I will speak with her in person, explain things and give her any assistance with crystal I can. Meanwhile, you and I shall have to discuss relocating you and Lucas once again. Good. Alright, there's a lot of complications going on here. Or Miss Marta Babik. Alright, so this is another apartment checked out. Let's get on with the actual main mission now. But first, let's try and not die getting down. I don't have the Icarus landing system because, to be honest, I actually like the tension of the risk of death when being high up, instead of having no consequence at all. Nice lighting, by the way. That heater over there. Alright, but I think we can just use our super ability again, which is super handy. It's almost like a cheat mode, that ability. It's really handy.
Oh, fuck. Anyone justify paying so much attention to such a minority? You fucking Ogs!
Oh, I was about to have pity with her, but...
Ever hear that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few? Ever hear that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few?
She is not
I just think we're in bed with
a
the
very
Russians.
friendly person.
Not disturb. So tired. Not disturb. So tired.
Alright, alright. Machines cannot taste, but your tongue does. Keep it real. Keep it real, people. Keep it real. Anywho, we are going to the TF29 office to meet with Smiley. First, let's see if anybody has anything to say.
Go away and let me sleep.
It's really nice that all the NPC dialogue makes sense, so to say.
Here's trouble.
I only need a little help to get me
Already
through this
talked
tough
with him.
time.
This is an outrage. I am outraged!
Why?
This abuse of authority cannot go on much longer. There will be bloody revolt in the streets. You will see. This abuse of authority cannot go on much longer.
Alright, alright.
There will be bloody revolt in the streets. You will see.
Alright, alright. By the way, can we also fast travel? Don't think so. So we had 4 stages. Pilgrim, Sapek, Monument, Palisades. We are now near Palisades. There it is. And we are going to TF29.
Tohle? Není to tak zlý. Některý dny jsou lepší než jiný.
Really like it that they also mixed in like real Czech talk. Makes it feel more authentic. Right, let's get out of here.
Já vím. Viděl jsem to ve zprávách.
Hello.
I suppose the Rucker won't be leading you hunters to the promised land after all. You must be all heartbroken, huh? You must be all heartbroken, huh?
No matter who Rucker was or what he stood for, it's an awful way to go. I heard his head exploded.
Sounds like a pretty good way to go. 1 second you're there, another second you don't have a head anymore.
I don't want any trouble.
Užíváte si vyhlídku.
Can't defend against that kind of thing.
Nothing much open but Palisade Bank at night around here. Don't know what attracts all the homeless. Probably just trying to get away from the gangs. City has gone to hell. Don't know what attracts all the homeless. Probably just trying to get away from the gangs.
I will never ask for their head.
V noci se tohle místo promění, že jo? Vylezají ven neviditelný lidi.
Ty si myslíš, že máš problémy, Augu? Nemáš ani tušení.
Nebylo by pár kreditů?
Tady pan nablejskanej Aug. Určitě bude mít na rozdávání.
What a place.
Some people act like they've never seen a damn checkpoint before.
Stay quiet.
Have your papers ready. Give them to the officer. Let them see your face, and that's it. Easiest thing in the world. Have your papers ready. Give them to the officer.
Cool.
Let them see your face, and that's it. Easiest thing in the world.
They have 2 different types of helmets. It's really such a nice little detail. Right, that guy is out cold. Right, where is TF-29? Here it is. Here we go. It's the fake storefronts for the Task Force 29's crime
Feels like
operation
everyone is paranoid.
facility.
I hate what terrorists have done to my city. Find the people who attacked it. Be careful out there, Jensen. Prague is not safe for anyone these days. Be careful out there, Jensen. Prague is not safe for anyone these days.
We are going to Smiley. Where the hell is the door? Here it is. Hello, lady.
Last week, a truck working for Tai Young Medical got hijacked. A bunch of AUG installation tech was stolen. I've tracked a missing neuroplasticity calibrator to the Diwali family here in Prague, but then the trail goes cold. I've tracked a missing neuroplasticity calibrator to the Diwali family here in Prague, but then the trail goes cold.
This is also a nice
Hey, Adam.
colleague.
I heard about Rucker. That's terrible, Adam. He was our standard bearer. What direction will the movement take now?
I don't know. I spoke to Miller as he was leaving. Told me he was going to Gollum City to talk to the state police.
Damn, I hope he has better luck than you and Smiley did. Because if you think that Prague is bad now, imagine what'll happen if reaction to Rucker's death gets violent.
I'd rather not.
Yeah, FUBAR is what'll happen. What a week. And meanwhile, I'm going crazy waiting for Dr. Ozen to get back to me with my test results.
On what?
How did it go with Dr. Ozen? She ran some tests?
I swear to God, Adam. These tests they give me are more stressful than being in the field. When I'm out there, I have immediate feedback every second. And when you're doing these tests, they just stare at you and take notes. I don't like it.
Nobody does. When do you get the results?
Dr. Ozen didn't say. I don't know, hopefully in a day or two.
Try and stay positive.
Always.
So what do you think of our new doctor?
What do you mean?
I just wonder what she's really doing here.
Things are heating up here in Prague. We can use all the help we can get. I'd be worried if Interpol didn't send a psychologist. Besides, I spoke to her for an hour. I like her.
It just seems suspicious to me, that's all. We've never needed a psychologist before. Who's she watching?
Come on, Adam, you keep talking like that and Chang's gonna change all the locks again. There are 87 agents in Prague, and I just finished handing out the new keycards.
I should get going.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Cool that there is like new dialogue when you return to this area. Anywho, where the hell is Smiley? Check out this dude.
I've got reports from Gollum of people breaking into shops. Gollum City wouldn't be my first choice for a looter's paradise. Nobody has anything worth stealing. Gollum City wouldn't be my first choice for a looter's paradise. Nobody has anything worth stealing.
First you, now Miller. Everyone's taking a trip to Gollum today. You'd never get me to go to the Og ghetto, especially today. You're lucky you made it out alive. You'd never get me to go to the Og ghetto. I don't envy the guy who's gonna have to clean up Gollum City once they've done rioting. I don't understand people rioting. It doesn't make anything better. It just makes things worse for everyone. Such a shame what's happening in Gollum City.
I was monitoring electricity usage across the city, and I came across an anomaly. One apartment in Prague is drawing enough power for a complex 3 times its size. I can't imagine what all the electricity would be for.
I picked up a trail on a human smuggling ring just on the fringes of Gollum. Trust me, you don't want to see this. These people thought they were going to Rombbb. Fuck.
Right, Daniel Fletcher. Yes, that's Smiley.
I was looking into old news reports about anti-Og violence, and your name came up. I think it's pretty noble that you chose to leave the Detroit police force rather than follow the order to kill an augmented kid.
We found where the mystery group from Dubai had its staging area. Unfortunately, it was deserted and sanitized. The Dubai crashers are skilled and disciplined. They're not leaving anything for us to follow. I'm starting to think we won't find them until they strike again.
Right. Just doing a little bit more dialogue to get some context.
Because of the latest bombing, coordinating security for AUG-related functions just became exponentially more complicated. It doesn't make my life any easier that the guy in charge of security for the safe harbor launch is a grade A prick.
I was looking into old news reports about anti-Og violence, and your name came up.
I thought you were supposed to bring Rucker back alive. Jesus, Jensen. I've got nothing to say to you. We should find out, but it's not a priority. I was monitoring electricity usage across the city, and I came across an anomaly.
The lab is really coming through for us in the bombing. Can we get a feed from that drone?
Damn it.
Smiley's an eccentric little weirdo, but he gets results. Smiley's an eccentric little weirdo, but he gets results. You gotta take the good with the bad.
Love to help you. But thanks to Chang's hang-up with password security, I've been locked out of the system again. I know security's important, but I spent half the day running from IT to Chang
Well, they're not the
back
most
to my
cooperative
computer
people.
instead of actually getting shit done.
Yeah, I have the same with my job.
With its serial numbers, tracing the source of the bombings is completely futile.
Take the good with the bad.
I hope you come up with something soon. Otherwise, it's only a matter of time before more people die.
Pessimistically optimistic. It's not gonna help our relationship with state police.
How am I supposed to get anything done?
It's all about keeping your concentration.
Actions, consult, support.
Who's made the most noise at the co-op?
There's
Odds all over the world. Of course the police don't want him there.
Nice hair.
If things get any worse, we could be looking at a global civil war.
There's quite some dialogue.
All we can do is speculate until someone steps up.
I've got reports from Gollum of people breaking into shops. lost him.
I've been combing the files of people close to Talus Rucker to see who's most likely to feel the leadership factor. The new head of ARC is probably going to be Viktor Marchenko. Easily the ugliest looking human being I've ever seen in my life. Not again.
So many buildings were left vacant after the incident that it's easy for terrorist groups to find a place to hide. A disused missile silo in Russia, an abandoned auto plant in Detroit, a former geological research facility in Switzerland. Any one of these could be used as a secret base of operations. A disused missile silo in Russia, an abandoned auto plant in Detroit, a former geological research facility in Switzerland. Any one of these could be used as a secret
With ARC
base
leaderless,
of
things will only
operations.
escalate further. Nobody wins.
I'm not saying he'd stick it anywhere, but
I'm close to a real breakthrough on the collective. Nobody's thought of this before, but I think Janus employs flesh and blood
Can we get a
operatives
feed from
on
that
site to
drone?
make the more difficult hacks feasible. Nobody's thought of this before, but I think Janus employs flesh and blood operatives on site to make the more difficult hacks feasible.
Is he trying to make contact with Tibor?
Nobody's thought of this before, but I think Janus employs flesh and blood operatives on site to make the more difficult hacks feasible.
Remember the days when people... Well, they're not the most cooperative people in the world.
The video is much faster, but there's no
The lab is really coming through for us in the bombing.
I've lost track of how many people have been
Is he
killed
trying to
in the
make
past few
contact
hours.
with Tibor?
Augs are killing cops, cops are killing Augs. An eye for an eye, all the way to the end. And what an end it'll be.
I don't think those teeth all belong to the same person.
Bogs all over the world are going crazy.
Alright, so this is actually pretty nice for some context. I wasn't aware, but apparently the killing of Talus Rucker really created some rebellion.
we found where the mystery group from Dubai had its staging area. Unfortunately, it was deserted and sanitized.
This place has all kinds of rumors flying around.
We should find out, but it's not
I just find it unlikely that Miller can afford a penthouse on a director's salary.
Good point.
That's gotta raise some lights.
Let's do a little bit more snooping around.
I was looking into old news reports about anti-AUG violence, and your name came up. I think it's pretty noble that you chose to leave the Detroit police force, rather than follow the order to kill an augmented kid.
Because of the latest bombing, coordinating security for AUG-related functions just became exponentially more complicated.
I picked up a trail on a human smuggling ring just on the fringes of
We
Gollum.
are in looping territory.
But,
How am I...
Important security notice. This building is monitored by an AI security system. Interpol Task Force 29, second floor, first floor. Let's talk with the psychiatrist. She's here. There she is.
Are you here to talk? I hope you find something in Black's office that you can use. I don't know why. I always fear the worst. I don't know why. I always fear the worst.
Right, let's now. We talked to pretty much everybody.
Find out.
Except upstairs. Let's quickly do upstairs. And then either still in this episode or in the next one, talk to Smiley and continue the actual main campaign.
Remember the days when people was all about concentration.
Thanks for taking care of those conspiracy nuts, Jensen. Man, the thought of someone knowing where we are, I mean, I'm supposed to be digging into this Janus hacking collective, but I can't do that if I keep looking over my shoulder. waiting for the next bomb to go off.
Any progress on Janus?
Why? What have you heard?
Don't get jumpy. Just curious.
Janus has officially hacked into my sleep. I wake up trying to figure out who's tracking who. Sometimes I think I'm this close, and then nothing. But I am starting to learn one thing.
And what's that?
The less I talk about how it's going, the better it seems to be going.
How did you get started here exactly?
Miller came to me in prison. Helping him set up a cybercrimes unit was my way out.
That's a pretty good deal.
Sure, if you're looking to exchange one set of impenetrable walls for another. At least in prison, I didn't owe anyone anything. Here, yeah, I don't know. They do a good job of reminding me that I have a lot to be grateful for.
You saying they hired you because they knew you wouldn't ask questions?
No. Maybe. Look, I do ask questions. A lot of questions. Just not always out loud.
You were brought in specifically to track down Janus. You ever worked with them in the past?
I'm not one for collective ideals. Chang looks out for Chang. Sometimes our routes ran parallel, ships in the night kind of deal.
Is the Collective as big a threat as people say?
People like to romanticize these kinds of hacktivist organizations.
But you don't see it that way.
They're anonymous, powerful, and convinced they have a stranglehold on what's right and wrong. In my opinion, that makes them very dangerous.
Get some sleep, Chang. You sound like you can use it.
Right.
The NSN is a great piece of tech, but with all those functionalities, it requires constant updating. Security on the NSN is top of the line. Without the access card, any breach is totally impossible.
The bank I used to work at was paranoid about security. Their NDA was the size of a novella. Security was so tight, I'm surprised they let us leave with the lunch counter food still in our bodies. Security was so tight, I'm surprised they let us leave with the lunch counter food still in our bodies.
What?
Security was so tight, I'm surprised they let us leave with the lunch counter food still in our bodies.
With the lunch counter fit still in our bodies?
I'd love to store some of my stuff at the Palisade, just to say I can afford it. Hell, I'd love just having something important to keep secure.
Oh, Jensen, you made it out of Golem City alive. Hey, that's great. I thought you might get stuck in there.
If I have anything, I'll let you know.
The new Sons of Freedom, or NSF, is a small group of militant constitutionalists and secessionists operating in the continental United States, particularly in the Pacific Northwest. The group was formed as a reaction to the American government's increasingly authoritarian regime. NSF is committed to fighting the influence and control of a group of unknown people they believe to be the Illuminati with strategic guerrilla warfare strikes. They are suspected of having ties with Janus and the Juggernaut Collective. You showed a lot of restraint in Golem City. I may have been tempted to engage with a few of the locals. ARC may have a pure message, but some of its members are just cruel bullies, you know? And I wouldn't mind giving them a piece of my mind, if you know what I mean. And now with Rucker out of the way, the militant voices in ARC will only get louder and stronger. You showed a lot of restraint in Golem City. I may have been tempted to engage with a few of the locals.
You're looking for black hanging around.
Pessimistically optimistic. Is that a thing?
Cruel bullies,
I don't even know why Vince has an office here. He spends all his time with the Valley.
And now with Rucker out of the way, the militant voices in ARC will only get louder and stronger.
I've never met anyone with more secrets than Vince Black. It's all about keeping your concentration. If you do somehow manage to see Vince, tell him we're looking for him. It's important.
I don't even know why Vince has an office here. He spends all his time with the Valley. I don't even know why Vince has an office here. He spends all his time with the Valley.
I don't know. I got a bad feeling about this.
Damn it, Allison.
How are they setting off to speculate so much is that they don't tell us their plans.
Pessimistically optimistic. Is that a thing? It's all about keeping your concentration.
Alright, pretty much cleared this one out. Almost there. I think this was the biggest room on the stairs.
Singh deserves some kind of Interpol medal for outstanding service. Barely off the plane and he's already caught wind of a kidnapping operation. Fucking Singh, man.
Last year, the collective shut down London's traffic grid.
The commuter system in Toronto's been shut down after 2 trains collided. Toronto Transit is claiming terrorists hacked their trains, but unless ARC has people with experience in black cyber ops, I really doubt it. Toronto Transit is claiming terrorists hacked their trains, but unless ARC has people with experience in black cyber ops, I really doubt it.
I have an undercover operative in ARC, but I haven't heard from her since the rioting started. I really hope my operative in ARC is safe. We can't afford to miss any information on that group's activities.
Despite whatever praises the underground media wants to sing.
Right.
These are the greatest concerns of the digital age.
Hey, Jensen, I'm busy. Get lost.
Have made addressing those concerns.
Help you with something, Jensen?
I heard you were on point looking into the gold mask mercs from Dubai. How's that going?
You should be more concerned with your own investigation, mate. Especially now that you've evaporated your only fucking lead.
You got something you want to say to me?
Your orders was to bring Rucker in alive, so we could sweat him for the bombings. That's not gonna happen now, is it? What happened? You get a taste for blood in 27?